what top corner should be alright.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number
Have you heard of somebody called
427.
Cordell Beckham?
Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what
Well, this guy
employee
Stanley just does
427
whatever
did
they tell
every
him to
day
do.
of every month of every
Stanley's a
year.
bitch.
And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
You know what? As long as Stanley's
And then
happy.
one day, something very peculiar happened. Something
Wow.
that would forever change Stanley.
Who am I
Something
to?
he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Alright.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yo, where's the meeting room?
I'm over here rubbing on my laptop.
You're rubbing your what? Yo,
What, HVAC?
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yeah, shots. I learned this from my
wait.
laptop.
What if I entered the door on the right?
You die.
That's what I'm. Wait. He said Stanley enters the door on the left. Do I follow what this narrator's? I'm just gonna follow
What
the
kind of
narrator's.
Fuck
Nah,
ass game are you playing?
Yo, I want to see. I look here. We're gonna go on the door on the right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge
Guy's
first,
playing
just to admire it.
backroom sim. This was not the correct way, and Stanley knew. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first just to admire it.
Ah, yes, truly
Yo,
a
you
room
might
worth
get, like,
admiring. It
back.
had really been worth the detour after all.
You're just gonna
walk
give me
past
back.
that
Spent a
one
few
room with the
moments
door
here
open?
in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley
You're
simply stood
definitely
here,
gonna get
drinking it all
killed by
in.
something.
Stanley simply stood here drinking it.
Bro, this game's
But eager to get
weird.
back to business, Stanley took the
You guys are
first open
narrating
door on
every
his
single
left.
thing you do.
That's what I'm saying. The door on the left.
And so he detoured
No,
through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead
you
to the
definitely did
opposite
not
door,
look at the door on
and
the
got
left.
back on track.
This game is creepy as shit.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go
Creepy
up to his
as
boss's
fuck.
office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Yo, who?
Let it ball up inside you.
Word?
Make sure your slide has a slick blue graphic in the header.
Everyone is unique. You most of all.
Who is changing the slides?
Number of slides on this slide. What?
Charts and slides.
Rate at which charts on the same slide depict the same information.
Holy fuck, yo.
Coming to a staircase,
That shit,
Stanley
you saw
walked
the
upstairs
charts
to
getting
his
real
boss's
crazy, yo?
office.
The stairway is creepy as fuck.
This is where my boss is off.
Why are you listening? Yo.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any
Guy's
human
willingly
life.
going there.
Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from
The
him.
door closed.
And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad,
The narrator's
Stanley
off.
happened to enter the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
What?
Okay, narrator.
Yo, what the fuck?
Why is it so dark? What kind of creepy ass shit, bruh? Yo, if you're watching live right now, drop in chat that you pulled with Stanley.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Yo, I thought I got shot.
The guy said the question would not go unanswered for long. That means some fuck shit's gonna happen.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
This game is fucking with me.
That game's scary as shit. Yo.
I'm going to the escape. We're getting out of here. We're getting the
Although
fuck
this
out of here.
passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this
Scary as
hall,
shit.
Stanley would meet his violent death.
Yo, he's saying you're gonna die.
Or is he just playing with me, bro?
I don't know.
I think the narrator's playing with. I don't want to play with the narrator, bro. Hold on.
Bro, but the narrator brought you down there, yo.
That's what I'm saying. Nah, the narrator's been an op though, cause he even told me the code to get down here.
A hoe.
The
You should keep
narrator's
going.
been
You
on
should-
this.
yeah.
I'm going straight. Fuck it.
The
We
narrator's
ball.
a hoe.
I don't fucking like this guy anyway.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this
The
point,
narrator's
Stanley
being a
was making
hoe.
a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death. As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no
Yo,
great
listen,
loss,
bro.
like
Listen, bro.
clicking the
It was a
eyeballs
bro.
of a
I
blind
promise
man.
I won't do it again. I'll follow your
So
every
he
instruction, bro.
resigned
Chill.
and willingly
Bro,
accepted
bro,
this
chill.
violent end
Bro,
to
chill.
his brief and shallow
No,
life.
chill, bro.
Farewell, Stanley.
Chill. It won't happen again.
Farewell, Stanley,
This shit is
cried the narrator,
crazy.
as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated, as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly. And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Is this where you began?
No, not at all. I started in my office. Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah, no wonder why this bullshit was free for the month.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No,
I can't see it all.
perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail.
What is
Turn
happening?
off your PlayStation. There's no other way to beat this game.
Turn
As
off
long
my
as you move
PlayStation.
forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now, and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do,
How you gonna know
choose
you on
it. Don't
PlayStation?
let time choose for you.
Oh, turn off my.
Turn off your stream. It's the Indian guy from your tablet, yo. Open up Clash.
Wait, we're back in the office from when we started.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Smite 2. Freak it, let's download it. This game's only 11 gigabytes?
Only 11 gigawatts?
That's what I'm saying.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy. So he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Apparently that narrator is only speeding through the fucking game.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that
The
read
TikTok
Mind
where the guy's
Control
like,
Facility.
Oh, hey, look, it's Suicide Squad. And there's a bunch of like nerdy and emo girls.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What
Yo, is
horrible
this the fucking
secret did
Truman
this
Show?
place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Hell yeah.
I love that movie. It's a good movie.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed.
Year 11.
Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Yo, where's mine? 4, 2, 7. Oh shit. Yo, that is my desk.
This mind control facility, it was too
It'd be
horrible
funny
to
if you
believe
knocked
it
down the
couldn't
face
be true.
cam.
Was Stanley really been under someone's control all this time?
Fuck.
Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Bruh. So, I was checking up Smite and a couple things, so a couple
But
of the
you were
features-
actually sleeping.
But here was the
Whatever.
proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy
all the
or sad
features,
or
some of them
content.
are
Walking,
be
eating,
in the
working. All of it
beta,
monitored
some
and
are-
commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past
Yeah,
began to
that's
sink
lucky
in,
how it goes, because I
Stanley
remember playing, like,
decided that
Black
this
Ops 3 beta.
machinery would never again exert
And it was
its
quite a bit
terrible
different from the
power
final
over
game.
another human life.
thinking about,
For
was
he
it,
would dismantle the controls
beta
once
when it
and
first came
for
out?
all.
I have no idea because I probably was not even aware of Smite.
No, yeah, that's probably right. That makes sense.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for. Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this
turn
machine
it
is
off.
activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes.
What?
Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine.
What?
You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires.
What?
Oh, this is much better than what I
What?
had in mind.
Whoa.
What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me,
No.
where we're going, what all this means.
No,
I
shut up,
barely
shut
know
up,
where
shut
to
up.
start.
Shut up.
What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are?
No, bro, I want to get out of here,
A
bro.
moment of solace before you're obliterated.
No, bro, help me get out
All
of here,
right,
bro.
I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what
What?
happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of
Huh?
course, that was merely in this instance of the story.
Bro,
Sometimes
just let
when
me
I
out,
tell
bro.
it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground.
Bro, I have a
swallowing
minute, bro. Stop
everyone
talking and
inside,
shut up and let me
or
get
I
out
let
of
it
here.
burn to
Yo,
a
I think the
crisp.
code is.
I
Oh,
have to say this, though. This version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and taking back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I
Someone
almost
help
hate
me.
to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock, right not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons. No, these colored ones. Or
Nah,
this
this
big
guy's
red
annoying, bro.
button. Or
Nah.
this door. Everything, anything,
He's fucking
something
annoying,
here will
yo.
save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is?
Bro, I just want to play a video game.
You're
What
in
the
for
fuck is
quite a
happening?
disappointment.
I just
But
want to
here's a
enjoy
spoiler
my
for
night.
you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't.
Bro,
Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully?
turn off the
Another
fucking
choice.
chat.
Make it count.
Turn it off.
It's all the same to me. All about
Bro, I just wanted
the
to see what would happen if I
And
turned
believe
on the
me, I
fucking
will be
shit, but it was an
laughing at every
accident,
second
bro.
of your inevitable
It was a
life
fucking
from the
accident, bro,
moment
please.
we fade in until the moment I say happily ever after. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
This game is fucking. It's hurting my head.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Quelle surprise.
Yo, Bryce, are you still watching, bro?
Yeah.
I didn't even press on the keypad.
That's sus.
Bro, the narrator said blah, blah, blah. Like,
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
I know how to play the.
The lights rose on an enormous
no,
room
no, you
packed
don't know
with
how to play.
television screens.
Play Neath.
What horrible
Don't
secret
diss.
did this place hold?
You're dissing my
Stanley
favorite
thought to
character in the
himself.
game.
Hey, yo.
Did he have the strength to find
No,
out?
you don't.
I'm not gonna lie, B. This shit don't look that good for PS5. This shit look like
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true
2010
nature
computer
revealed.
game.
Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and
Yeah, be
Stanley,
ashamed
one of them,
yourself.
eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never... blackness, and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away.
Freedom is a must.
And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved.
Oh, I don't want to play.
Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
This shit looks fake as fuck.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
So we just ended up getting huge news about GTA 6 trailer 2. We also ended up getting a very small tease for GTA 6.
So with that, so that's the game.
No, it says never. The end is never the end.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Fuck are you watching?
When
dude?
Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to
Dead in the
admire it.
middle of Little Italy, little
Wow,
did he know that we didn't
yes,
do diddly.
this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
Now when
There's
to be
someone
friends
you've
though,
been
I told
neglecting,
you about
Stanley. Someone you've
the
forgotten
memo.
about.
Bro, Bryce, this
Please,
game is
stop
fucking
trying
with
to
me,
make
bro.
every decision by yourself. Now, I'm
It
not
is.
asking for me, I'm asking for
Hey,
her.
Who's her? You have my wife?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem
hey.
yourself. To put your work aside. To
Hey!
let her back into your life.
She has nothing to...
She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley.
Bro,
You
even in
need to
video
be the
games you
one
can't
to do
escape a
this,
fine shit.
to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
What if I don't... What if I let the phone ring? Fuck it, I'm letting the phone ring. I'm not picking up the phone. Can I unplug
As
it?
Stanley picked up the phone, a white light
No, I
engulfed
didn't.
him, filling
I
him not
unplugged
just
it.
with radiance, but with hope.
What
Hope
are you
for a
talking
life
about?
reunited one... Wait. Oh, goodness. Stanley, did you just unplug the phone? No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly. I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day.
He's
Stanley
not a
picks
love
up the
song.
phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife,
I have
and
a
the
player,
two pledge
yo, and his
themselves
name
to
is
one another.
You.
Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the
Calaban
phone is actually
Buchel.
somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible?
That shit gotta
None of
be
these
funny.
decisions were supposed to
Get
mean
a warm
anything.
blue shit.
I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I
When is
can't
fine shit
believe
gonna
it.
text?
How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person.
Nah, I'm Stanley, bro. Chill, I'm Stanley, bro.
I can't believe I
I'm
was
not
so
a real
mistaken.
person, bro.
This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And
No,
to think
not
I've
at all,
been
bro.
letting
I'm
you
Stanley.
run around in this game for so long.
I
If
feel
you'd made any
more
more
like
wrong
I'm dumb.
choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's
I'm
as though you completely
dumb.
ignored even the most basic safety
Give it the ball,
protocol
yo.
for real-world decision-making.
Why are you
Or did you
tagging my
not grasp
QB after
the
he just got
severity
rid
of
of
the
that?
situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
These guys need to stop
Choice.
hitting my QB.
It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Rupert has a
good
choice.
catch.
He could invent a machine that eliminates food shortages across the
I haven't
world
played
to make
this game
life
in so
better for
long, I
all
don't even know
people.
who these players are.
Or he could spend years of hard work forgetting how to read. Which
Yeah,
choice would you
NCAA, I
make?
don't even know my
Remember
players
that
anymore.
unlike here, the real world
Oh.
makes sense, and at no
Yeah.
time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack." Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best
Holy,
part to a
this guy
healthy
hit the
decision-making
Juke
process.
so nasty. he
Most
broke
medical
somebody's ankles
professionals
and fell.
recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a
Do I
significant
have to watch
contribution to
this?
the world, just
Fuck, I should have threw the ball.
Begin the game again.
remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the
Damn,
feeling
bro,
should
this
subside.
Defense
At
is
this time,
nasty.
your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Okay.
Welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to
Oh,
revisit a choice
I
you
thought that was
made
a
just a
test,
few
but-
minutes ago and see what the correct thing
not,
to
it's
do
okay, we
would
got
have been. This way,
Too
please.
easy. That was so easy, we're going for 2.
we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality. Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world. Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
Damn.
Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to.
No, chill, though.
I have to.
No.
That guy's crashing out.
Bro, where am I?
Oh, I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You. Who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child. Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to make... Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I do not want to be Prince Joe. I told y'all, Mom.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find... Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code. Stanley spoke the code. Night Shark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
And what if I didn't do that?
I'm sorry, is there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise, we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
You're the only one who wants to get on with the story, bro. I'm fine chilling where I'm at, actually.
Okay, fine. You're not gonna do it. But you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward. You... When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Stanley?
Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice. I need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to me? Can you hear me? Is everything all right? Stanley, this is important.
This guy beat the game.
The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. You understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose. Do something. Anything. This is more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it. So, you hear me? Are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay, I can wait. You need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice. That's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
Bro, is this the end of it? Am I done? What happens now?
I feel like it's not the end for some reason.
I don't think that's the end.
Even now, Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it look like? There was a computer, perhaps, and a painting. Was it a painting or a photo? He could no longer recall.
This isn't the same narration as before.
Yo, the numbers
When
are different.
Stanley came
too.
to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Yeah, pop that guy, yo.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
I need a key card. I need a key card. Where am I gonna get a key card from?
Oh, I know that one you're talking about. To me, it low-key reminds me of the game Portal. Like, obviously it doesn't have portals, but the way it's structured and like the place he's at.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly.
Dark?
Stanley walked through the red door. All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you.
Speed and acceleration.
You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map, because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures.
Oh, nice.
Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours.
Yeah,
What would have made this game
crazy.
better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me.
so
You
he'll
give
fight,
me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let
Bro,
me
I
take a
need my
stab in the dark at a
linebackers
new
to kill this
design,
guy.
and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option.
I need
This
them to
already
kill
feels
him.
leaps
Kill the
ahead of where we
QB.
were
He keeps on
before.
running.
Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Oh, I just missed that tackle.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
It depends. Like, you gotta have a coaching upgrade because I've seen it.
I mean, I can understand if you had reservations.
And
You saw
there's,
ways the
will
game could be
improve in their, like,
improved to more
highest rated
fully
attribute or
express itself
something,
mechanically and
something like that.
artistically. But a 1? That's not even helpful. What am I supposed to do with that? But I guess it isn't my place to judge.
Yeah,
Here,
I forgot
based
which
on the
one. I
data
haven't
from your
been on the
previous
game in a
playthrough,
minute.
I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look. Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up.
This bum-ass game, bro.
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. The desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice.
Yo,
But
the
of course,
narrator's
the
pissing me
message
off.
of the game only becomes clear
What'd he
once you've
say?
been playing it for about
Bro,
4
he
hours.
just
So
keeps
why don't
chatting,
you
bro.
give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience. You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work.
I have
Let's
a
give it
player
a
named
shot.
McCracken. What's McCracken, yo?
Aha! Fascinating.
Bro,
What do you think
the
this
man
game
having
is
me
about,
playing
Stanley?
fucking Firewatch.
What's our backstory? What is our motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into
Bro,
the
that game is
experience of
scary.
total mental depravity. So
have
far, I
Firewatch, I'm
love
gonna play it
everything
soon.
about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
Oh yeah, give me that. Too easy. Seen that from a mile away.
Oh no. No, it can't be.
Game that I'm playing.
I know, but still, it's crazy.
Bro, it's the exact same thing.
It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off. Oh, thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You nearly wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls. Okay, I think this will be just
Yo,
the
my
thing.
Titan is a bully. He's running the route, bro. And no, a defensive back got in his way,
See,
and
this
he
is
literally
exactly
like
what I had in mind.
shouldered him
Just a
and
nice
started running
big
the
box
route
for you to
again.
run around in. There isn't
Bro,
any
they have me playing
possibility that
Rocket
you could
League.
get lost here. Now this is
I
game
see, I
design.
see.
Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed.
JT, these mechanics are crazy.
Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see.
Bro, he's
There are
literally
lots
getting
of cars
tackled
here
by
in the back,
somebody,
but obviously there's
like
no
from his
racetrack.
legs,
Okay,
and
I'm
then
seeing
somebody
that
else
there's a
went for another
ball of
tackle,
some
and he
kind
just
back
trucked
here.
the
Is
second
this
guy.
game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports
I've never
ball.
seen this in a
what
football
fun.
game, so this is
We shall
mind-blowing.
run the bases and do a touchdown together? Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball.
You're playing a
Have
trippy
fun.
ass game, boy.
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on?
Yes, bro, it
Stanley,
actually
I
is.
have a
Your
thought.
story fucking
And I
stinks.
realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then surely multiple balls
Goal!
makes for an even more. Hold on. What are you doing? Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
Hello? Yo, don't tell me I'm in this game, bro.
What game is that, yo?
This was the scary game I got. It's like deeps, bro. It's some dumb shit, bro. And like there's like a virus on the boat.
Oh, the something deep.
Yeah, yo, in too deep or some shit like that. In too deep.
Guys, that's some fuck ass name. Started dying.
Bro, where the fuck am I?
Oh, good tackle.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice. And if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes.
Killing y'all
Yes,
neighbors
I'll
on
be
the
back. There's no
lyrical
other
stuff.
way.
Mayonnaise.
Once this ends, after it all
miracle
comes to a
whips.
close, then I'll be back. The end will be here
Damn
soon.
you, quarterback.
Very soon. I can
My
wait.
player was open. Damn you, quarterback again! Third time's a charm. Mother Freeger. Did he catch it? No, he dropped it. Shit.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
Nah, dummy, we got you. You suck.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Apparently this guy TY hadn't even touched scratched the edge of the surface with the video game.
Yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Oh my god.
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, here we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it. I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley. All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Alright, this use of the advanced league. TY now has the ability to jump. How cool.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness, another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And if... Oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
Bro, this guy just yapped, bro.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's trophies, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test trophy, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Sorry, shit. Sorry. I wasn't looking at your boobs or that way. Well, actually, I just wish my babies had boobs.
What the fuck am I?
Psst! Stanley! Come over here! In the vent! I want to show you something.
Why do I want to see you? Coffee nut. Word?
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look. I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC. You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap PlayStation port? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste. And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content. Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. All they had to do was transport it in pristine condition along to the PlayStation. Boom, done. And they couldn't even do that. Couldn't resist the urge to go meddling with a beloved franchise. These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh no, oh God, no, Stanley. It's a collection of reviews from Pressurized Gas, the extremely popular online storefront for computer games. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they? Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them. Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did, but maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite a... What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have. And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time. Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps... Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're... Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time, I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability. The end is never the end, 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 is... all of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Ooh, I got 5-star coming on a thing, coming on a thing. We going once, we going twice, we going 3 times. Make it nice. Ooh, I got another. I got another.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this Ultra Deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this Ultra Deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2. Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly port with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel.
Bro,
An
I'm in a
entirely new
completely different
experience,
fucking
built
game,
from the
bro.
ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities.
So you're
They could
playing,
go
like,
in
multiple
so
games
many
and then
different
multiple
directions.
games.
This is what fans have truly been asking for.
It's the second game now. It was the Ultimate Edition, now it's the second game.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really. Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Stop. Hold up.
Reassurance bucket. Please, no screenshots.
Holy fuck, I hate whenever I get steak and I'm just chewing that shit.
Okay,
bro.
I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I
The
think that
steak?
in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like
JTR tried to make
balloons.
some
But I'm
shit.
undecided on Get
Nah,
Well
don't do that,
Someday
Bryce.
and
Don't
Happy
do that,
12th
Bryce.
Birthday.
Like,
Fuck ass
Which
that's
would you
not
do?
your
You're
main
on some
attribute.
bullshit. What you talking about right
You
now?
know, sometimes when you
The
solicit another
gaslighting
person's
theory.
opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all
Well,
along.
guys, like, I don't
Get
know what
Well
you're talking
Someday it is.
Yeah, that's what someone would say. They're gaslighting.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle? Oh well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece then. Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test trophy that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the trophy. Yes. You see, you're... Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the trophy is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Bro, I'm eating the steak and the Loki, like, it's seasoned well, and then it has, like, it tastes like cheese.
It tastes like cheese?
Bro, yes. Like a small hint of cheese. I got hoes calling
What
the
else?
brother's
What other
phone.
exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Let me tell you about my brother, though.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever.
This
That's
team
right.
from Iowa
Infinite
looks like the
falling.
Pillars.
You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Oh,
You
just
see,
Iowa and
isn't it wonderful?
Yeah, just
one of my
Iowa.
more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite
Bro, that should have been
hole,
interception.
you can
I was
press
right
the
there.
teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
I was literally covering 2 routes with 1 player.
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top.
Damn
Maybe
it.
do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things. Okay, Stanley,
This shit
I
tastes
don't
like
know quite
cancer.
how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole?
Not
Maybe
the
certainly.
steak, it's like this.
It's an extremely deep
Dr.
hole.
Pepper,
I
zero
don't want
sugar,
anyone to say
strawberries,
that
and
it
cream.
isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite?
Hey
Well,
man, I
that
didn't
sort of
buy
depends
it.
on your
I didn't
definition
buy
of
it.
infinity. From
Bro,
one
like
perspective,
I'm
the
listening to this
infinite is
fuck ass
merely
fucking
philosophical in
narrating.
nature.
You guys
It's
talking
more of
about
a
0 fucking sugar Dr. Pepper right
Okay,
now.
well, good for you.
It's not my
Found the
fault you
bottom of the
downloaded that
hole.
free
You
ass
found me out,
monthly game
Stanley.
off the Play.
I'm a liar, cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just
Yo,
that
don't be
you're
upset that
unusually
you don't got
fascinated
it,
by
yo.
Fuck ass
falling.
game.
What normal person actually wants to
It
fall
sounds like-
infinitely? I figured the hole was as
Guys
deep
over
as
here been
anyone would actually
running the
need.
damn
Don't you
circle
put this
for
on
like
me.
15
Maybe you're the problem.
Talking about every
Things
single
got a
loading
little
screen
heated
said the
there. I
game
think
never
we both
ends.
said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the whole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
Oh yeah. My wide receiver just bitched that cornerback, yo. The fuck
ain't gonna
off me,
lie.
neighbor.
That sophomore hit my fucking running back a little bit too fucking hard. That was not nice.
Backshot, 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 backshot.
Damn, the announcer spitting bars. He said that first down sack, pushing the ball
Great.
back.
Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for a
Interception
sequel.
in your mom. Never mind.
I'm not gonna lie, their team be reacting hella fast, bro, and it kind of pisses me off. Like before my player gets the fucking ball, they're already fucking moving towards it.
Okay, my QB is smoking dingleberries. Boing.
Pass interference, motherfucker. Yup. Shoot it and boot it. Give me them yards. Oh, come
Calling
on,
it the
oh,
Stanley Parable
come
2
on.
is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? Oh, goodness. Stanley, this is very awkward. I hate to do this, but before you leave, you really should go to both the exhibits for the
Be quick,
bucket
be
and the
quick,
collectibles.
be
You see,
quick.
there's a surprise I was going to spring on you later, and it involved
Quiet.
them. And I really do hate to
twins on my
break the
team.
illusion, but it's important that you go see the collectibles and the bucket.
That should have
Okay?
been interception.
All right, I'll get out of your hair now.
Bro, it's like this game makes you follow what it wants to do, and then even when you try to get away from doing what it wants you to do, you end up still doing what it wants you to do. Like, it's so fucked up.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and
Free monthly
paradoxical,
PlayStation Network
that it
ass game.
engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much
It was-
consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the
Definitely
game.
not free. That shit
It's
costing
the
you like 40
Stanley
gigabytes
Parable
right now.
Reassurance Bucket.
Bro, it's not.
You see,
Actually, it's like
Stanley,
5.
anytime you're holding the bucket,
Like
a
50
sense of
gigabyte
calm and ease will
gigawatts.
fill your mind.
Interception,
with
you're a
It's
dummy.
true.
Give me the ball.
As long as you hold on to the bucket, the
Bro,
many
you know,
disorienting
I
contradictions
understand
of
the
the Stanley
I
Parable
really
will feel
truly believe
perfectly
if you get a
normal and
red
perhaps even
circle
comforting.
when you're throwing
You
the
may
ball,
even come to
he just
long for
throws
the
it to the
gentle
nearest
embrace of
fucking
jarring cognitive
defensive
dissonance while the bucket
as
is in your
quarterback.
arms.
Like,
And
it's
to be
just like,
honest, it's a
there's
much
like no
more
fucking way.
convenient solution for me
This
than
guy
actually
sucks. He dropped the
redesigning the
ball.
game to be less uncomfortable.
Fucker.
Can you
Don't
imagine
drop
what a
the
pain
ball.
in the ass that would
Shithead.
be? Yes, the bucket
Kobe.
is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
These guys have like 6 cents, bro.
Bro, like what? I throw the ball. Their player is right there, and he has it in his possession.
My
and he
QB
drops it.
sold. Why did he do that?
Hold the fucking ball, bro.
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must
Our
already be
scholarship?
sweeping through your body.
Like
And in
that.
fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person.
That's what I'm talking about,
The
boys.
benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
You're the best. Bitch, laid your punk ass out. Fucking ball, man. Team, no, fuck.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
Bro, like, why is it red? No one's defending me. No one's close to me. Like, fucking catch the fucking ball. Oh my god.
For the Stanley Parable
What the
2,
fuck is
I
this,
asked
yo?
myself, what do players really want?
UCLA is
And
not
of
that
course,
fucking
the
good,
first
yo.
and most obvious answer
I'm
is that
better
they want to be
players.
individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button, which speaks the name of the...
Thank you!
Sorry, I should have
Thank you.
clarified. Right now,
Little
the button
bitch.
only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will
It's
say
foul
your
mouthing
name,
the
whatever
other
name
team.
that is. Here, let's have you roleplay as Jim to
Move,
really
you
simulate the
dumb
full
fucker.
experience of this feature. Just play along. I
Freaking
promise
truck
you'll
that
love
player.
it. Okay,
Well, my
here we
beat.
go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind,
that Tonka
forget
truck
whoever
behind you.
you are, and simply become a person named Jim.
Okay.
I want you to
This is
imagine
making me
yourself
laugh.
living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim,
I don't know what you're talking about.
falling in love and being heartbroken as
Freaky
Jim,
neighbor.
seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim,
Freaky
watching your
out.
dreams crumble into dust. Do you feel it deeply? Are you
I
really,
don't know if this
truly
halfback
Jim
shit's
right
gonna be
now?
worth it. I feel
If
like I'm
so,
gonna
then please step forward
Bro,
and press
like,
the button.
Where? Bruh.
Jim.
My line isn't even bad. but they
Yes,
be acting
you
like they
see?
freaking
What a
60
thrill, what a
overall
rush,
fucking
that was
team. I can't even do
you!
a fucking
The
round.
button described
He likes
you.
playing this
Do it again,
fuck
do it
ass
again.
game with one hand.
Are you serious? Wait, chewing on some food right now? Hey, T.Y., how does it feel to be watched while you're fucking playing your game?
Bro, it's fine. I don't know what you're talking about, bro. You shouldn't be taking it to fucking heart, honestly.
Damn, too bad we can't. What? Bro, I swear, bro, our O line is so fucking ass. But it's not ass.
It hits
It's like, how do
even
you have a
harder the
ass
second time.
offensive
If
line?
this were the
But you
only
don't
new
have an
feature
ass.
in the Stanley
How
Parable
you have
2,
ass
it would
play?
still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the gym button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal... Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much Jim.
I
I
make
put the
myself
gym
sad
button away.
sometimes.
Otherwise, soon you'll start to lose all sense of who you actually are.
You think about all the fine shits in your life and how they're no longer in your life. And then you're like, what about the next fine shit? Will the same thing happen to me?
Most likely.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable.
Oh my
An
god, that
epilogue
was
would be
violent.
fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes,
Yo.
yes.
That's who I
although at
said
the end
most
of the-
likely.
Well, we'll figure that out later.
Bro, this is insane, bro.
Was it worth it?
That's what pisses me off. When I throw the ball in certain ways, they can pick the shit off, but when I throw it up, they can just knock it out my player's hand if they go up for it. It's like, bro, come on.
Maldita pobreza. Maldita pobreza.
Bro, stick, bully that motherfuckers.
Ah,
Please.
collectibles.
Bully him.
Now it's a real video game.
Yeah, Jose,
In the Stanley
get in
Parable
there.
2, you'll
Ain't
run
no
around
way.
gathering up
No
these
passive
miniature
interference,
Stanley
yo.
Ain't no way,
figurines.
Jose,
And what's
I ain't
truly
no Jose.
innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't
Whoa,
want
I
to
hit the
stifle
wrong
the
button.
intrinsic joy of
Threw
watching a number
interception.
go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Oh, squares open, R1.
Bro.
my stadium got quiet as hell after that.
God, it
Oh.
really is the worst when
Man,
you collect
Wagner, you are
everything in a video
slow.
game, and then they give you a big fancy
Mentally,
reward for it.
physically.
Absolutely tragic.
Metaphorically.
Bro, look at quarterbacks on my team, bro.
Pop that jit, yo. He's like 5'6".
You're a good you, yo.
You're a good you, yo. Trust me, yo. I know, yo.
So, Stanley, what do you
Oh,
think?
what? That
Do you
guy's so-
like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear
What is
yet
it in
how
20?
exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my
Guy's
soul.
QI is playing
It's going
Bucket
to work.
Simulator.
There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see
the
whether
roof
or
of my
not
mouth is,
it
like,
coheres
itchy, bro.
into a meaningful gameplay experience.
Should buy it, yo.
Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
Bye. Bro, what the fuck? Where did that come from, yo?
Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort
I'm
of...
in Gucci
okay,
eating
never
Gucci
mind.
burgers.
Hold on.
She gave me
Let me do a
Gucci in the
different
big bubble.
arrangement.
I'm in
Okay,
Gucci
yes.
eating Gucci
Yes,
burgers.
this is much better. I feel good about
This is
this.
magic,
Here we
this is
go.
wisdom.
Version 2.
Oh, no way. He just made that. What is the score?
Who am I
Like
kidding,
20 to
Stanley?
0?
This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags.
My bad.
And I do
17.
very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted
Like, they've been
fans to
breaking
love
tackles
it.
left and
No
right.
matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
My God.
What
I
the
kill
fuck?
myself. The
This is the
Parable
story of a
2. Bro, what are you playing?
All of his co-workers were gone.
the
What could
demon?
it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting
Yeah,
room.
I'm-
Perhaps he had simply missed a
All these
memo.
motherfucking quarterbacks.
Yo, it's the fucking bucket.
Stanley picked up the bucket.
Yo, it's the bucket. I got the bucket.
Stanley pressed the bucket upon every little thing in the office. Nothing responded to the bucket's touch, but it did little to discourage Stanley's belief in the magic of the bucket.
I was trying to open up the fucking door.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
What?
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
Bro, it's kind of crazy that I'm gonna have to take out my fucking junior ass fucking quarterback.
No,
Freshman
never
quarterback
mind.
in, bro.
The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. Man's privileges are already.
No, said the bucket. Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Coach. Nope. Don't coach me. I don't want to hear it.
Good, said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
No, bro, why did you run that fuck ass route?
What the fuck?
No, stop. Look there on the wall.
Good
You see,
catch,
there's a
my
sign right
boy.
there. It says, no buckets past this point. Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that
Bro,
would explain a lot about your behavior
you
up
bring
to this
up fucking
point,
bucket
which,
sim,
if that's
and now the
true,
narrator
well,
can't
my
stop
goodness,
talking about this
I
fuck
think
ass
we have
bucket.
to do something about it. This
Well, I
misunderstanding
tell you,
could
yo.
have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment. Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right?
Bro, they have me
This
playing
should
a
tell
whole
us
ass
everything
game.
we'll
Show
ever
my
need to know about
God.
what is or
My
is
player
not
just
a bucket.
killed that guy.
Okay, let's begin.
Jesus Christ.
Item 1. Is this a
Absolutely
bucket?
killed that guy.
Incorrect.
This guy's
It is a
really playing
hologram of a
buckets.
bucket, not an actual
Thought I was
bucket.
just talking heat.
Item 2. Is this a bucket? Correct. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Oh my god, my player got dogged.
Item 3. Is this a bucket?
Oh my gosh.
Correct.
What
This is a bucket.
shit's annoying. It's like I'm tossing
Item
some solid
4.
ass fucking plays.
Is this a bucket?
And, bruh, shit every fucking time.
Correct. This is a tractor
That
and not a
tractor
bucket.
farm sim.
To be honest, I just sort of put this one in here as a gimme, but I was
Well,
starting
you're
to get
watching
concerned
TY's
that
podcast
even this
game
might
and
be
doing
too
a
much for
touchdown.
you. Thank you for not making me look like an idiot. Okay, next one. Is this a bucket? Incorrect. This is a bucket.
I know exactly what fucking. What's that fucking guy's name, bro?
Cartman.
No. That Uncle
Item
Ruckus
6.
ass
Is this a bucket?
Uncle Ruckus.
ass fucking theme.
Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
Right.
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere. Okay, you and I both know there isn't anything here. And I don't appreciate the implication that nothing is a bucket when we both clearly know that a bucket is something. And therefore nothing could possibly be something. Unless, in your twisted mind, have you somehow convinced yourself that a bucket is nothing? Answer me straight, Stanley. Do you believe that nothing is a bucket?
Honestly, T.Y., you should probably get your 5 gigabytes back.
What's up, y'all? Yo, what's up, y'all?
What's poppin'?
What's up, bitch?
What you say?
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out.
I don't even know
I've
what he
lost
said
all
either.
sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket?
ass
Mere
tired
moments
as
ago,
hell.
I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is?
Bro,
Am I
had to
a
coach
bucket?
2 sports at the same damn
Stanley, I
time,
can't keep
and then
doing
go
this.
work a damn
I'm
women's
losing myself,
basketball
and myself
game.
was
Not
all
going
I
out
ever
there